This is how top producers find new construction months before other realtors.
Build your dream today. We show you the way. Luxury leads come to play. New homes here to stay. Marketing's our game. Elevate your name. Reach for the fame. Never just the same. We're the iconic agent. New construction's our lane. Teaching you the secrets for luxury gains. Digital wave we ride. Strategies we provide. No need to hide. Success is on your side. Close deals like a pro. Watch your profits grow. High standards we show. Feel that golden glow. We're the iconic agent. New construction's our lane. Teaching you the secrets for luxury gains. Digital wave we ride. Strategies we provide. No need to hide. Success is on your side. Close deals like a pro. Watch your profits grow. High standards we show. Feel that golden glow. We're the iconic agent. New construction's our lane. Teaching you the secrets for luxury gains.
So, welcome to today's December 17th Midweek Tune-Up, your quick midweek calibration for new construction, real estate mindset, and marketing momentum. Nate is running a little late out there doing what he does, get some deals done. So, he will pop on probably in about 10 minutes or so. So, we're just going to go ahead and get started. Now, as usual, you guys are going to get these replays. This is free. If you're looking to attract the new construction buyers, in state, out of state, and buyers that have intent. We're not talking about junk leads. That I would definitely, or you need real estate marketing expertise, advice, and the opportunity to Q&A. You can ask experts and ask the community for guidance that will help you. Join the New Construction Marketing Insider. You scan this QR code. Now, what you're going to get is monthly marketing training and QA sessions. So the topics that we talk about here on the free tune-up, we go in depth, Q&A, and show you exactly how to do everything that we're talking about here. You get exclusive new construction software tools. We've set up some software tools. One of the ones that is really good is the incentive calculator. You don't have to worry about how to figure out how to break down incentives to your buyers. We've got a calculator. You plug the numbers in it. It'll show you this is what it would be under normal circumstances. This is what it would be under the incentives. We've got a massive amount of AI prompt lessons and a library for realtors. So these are actually prompts that we use. And then when we tweak it, we give it to you guys and we give you demonstrations to show you how to leverage that, as well as a monthly AMA. Now, the AMAs are free. You hop on, it's a free coaching session with myself, Nate, and the community. If you want the replays, you got to be an insider. And you'll get some new construction lead generation blueprints. The next upcoming insider only training will be about building authority content effortlessly in 30 minutes with only your phone and ChatGPT. It's crazy what you're able to do. And then we'll have an in-depth walkthrough of the new construction buyer traction training. Give you a little glimpse here as well. So go to the iconicagent.com/insider. You can get access to that or scan this QR code. So today, what we're going to discuss is something that there are a lot of agents that ask these questions, and we've put plenty of information out there to find this, but there is some there are some questions around where do we find, let's see here. Okay. Where do we find new construction? Now, you might drive past something or you'll look, but a lot of new construction is not in the MLS. So actually, I'll keep this up because we have a slide in here. So I can tell you right now about three different builders that have three different sets of incentives at three different price points. And myself and Nate have, as well as other agents that, take upon this advice, we've got a database of new construction in our areas that we know of. We built relationships with on-site sales staff. We can pick up the phone and call them, or they can text us, and we know what's going on. So when clients come in, if something's not a good fit here, then we can take them over there. And one of the challenges is let's say most, it's changing. A lot of new construction is not in MLS. Most agents, classically trained agents, are taught go to the MLS to find projects. So the question we get asked is, well, I can't find this new construction. There's only a little bit in the MLS. This is what this today's tune-up is about. It's about finding the secrets to finding new construction that's been right under your nose or right around you and you had no idea. So one of the easiest ways to do that is simply, matter of fact, let me stop sharing here. Okay, so one of the easiest ways to do that is simply drive around. And that's what most agents do. They'll drive around. You can look in the MLS. So if you go to the MLS and you select new construction, now depending on what we're talking about, new construction, are we talking about new and pre-construction, meaning to be built, quick move-ins being almost ready or ready now? Or are we talking about, 3, 4 year old new construction? If it's 3, 4 year old new construction and it's a listing from an agent, yes. If they put it in MLS, if it's not off market, totally, it's in um, it's in the MLS. Let me see. Okay, so that is also new construction. So that's kind of a cheat code. That's like the right now money. A listing, quick move-ins, those are like right now money. Now, what about the new construction that hasn't been built yet? It's not been framed or it's in framing and you can't put it in the MLS. And this depends on different MLSs across different areas of the country. So check your MLS for this. But there's still a lot that aren't in there. So how do we find new construction? There's real simple ways to do this. If you're a traveling agent and you travel a lot, think about the last time you were driving down the popular highway that thousands of people drive by every day, and you looked up and you saw a billboard from a builder. And you probably just drove right by it. Didn't think anything of it. Oh, yeah, there's a new Lennar property. You kept going. Now let's back up. Think of that rewinding in a movie that. Let's back up. You just passed a billboard that told you there's a new community down the road. Guess what drivers by are also doing? Oh, look, honey, there's a new subdivision. Let's go check it out. Are they finding you? Question. Builders are great at branding, but when you see a sign driving down the road, a billboard, pay attention. If you watch any streaming services and you're just sitting there watching your favorite episode of Selling Manhattan or Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, and the commercial comes up for a new subdivision, a new community, or new building, you're probably like, oh, that's cool. Boom, new construction right in your face. Cable news as well. If the developer is advertising it, it means buyers are aware of it. It also means they're putting money behind the project. That is your opportunity to say, oh, there is some new construction. I never saw that in the MLS. That's how you do that. Now, there's also fence wraps. If you're in the city, we love condos. If you're in the city, I notice a lot of agents are afraid of new construction and pre-construction condos. I'm not talking about existing. I'm talking about new construction or pre-construction. They don't understand the process. It's way different than a resale condo. Nonetheless, when you're in a major metro area, like right now, there's a couple going on in St. Pete. I know there's a bunch going on in Miami, but they put a fence wrap around it. And it usually has the developer's name and the name of the community, and usually not a lot of really easy to find contact information. However, fence wraps in popular areas, you've probably driven by those and like, oh, that's cool. Or those little flags, new construction, you've driven by, didn't pay attention, or just regular signage. That is a key indication, number one, that there's new construction there. That's how you find that new construction. Now you also have, if you're at a major brokerage and they have a development division, go to the development division, ask them what are they promoting. When you go to the new construction sales center, listen to the presentation. As you're listening to the presentation, what they'll often do is compare themselves to other projects in the area. Guess what they just did for you? They just did your homework for you. Jot it down. Oh, so Lennar said D.R. Horton's having this over here, or Toll Brothers said David Weekley's over here, or whatever the case may be. These are all ways that you can find new construction. Go to your local builders' websites. Get on their mailing list. Typically, when you go on and there's the contact form, it'll ask you if you're a realtor. Click the button. Sign up. Here's why. Because what you will find out, Mr. Crawford, hello there. I see you're on now. What you will find out is this right here. Once you get on the email list, you will get things like this. I know this builder has $35,000 in design and structural options and a $15,000 stipend for flex cash. If you're not familiar with flex cash is, we'll talk about that later, but it's pretty much the equivalent to seller concessions and a low interest rate. So those are stackable incentives. There's a difference between just the incentives and stackable incentives. This is a low interest rate and 15 grand. Now, I didn't know about this West Bay community, but guess who knows about it now? I do and y'all do. They sent me an email because I'm on their email list. For waterfront home sites, if I'm looking for a client that's like, I need to be on the water, it needs to be on the lake, and I want a luxury home, and I want to be in this specific area, this hasn't even started yet. It's like, oh, I know this. I got first movers rights because I know this before most other agents, because many other agents are probably just going to skip over this. Then there's $40,000 in savings for Casa Fresca, 3.99% interest rate on select move-in homes. Now, this builder also offers up to a 10% commission on specific projects. How do I know that? Because I have a relationship with them and I'm doing what I told you guys. So if I have a buyer that is looking for the home that they're featuring for 10%, that's like a $2 million, the equivalent to a $2 million sale commission from a single family home. It works two ways. So when you do these activities and look around, you'll know. Then there's also, so here's one, this is in the Atlanta area. This is up in Flowery Branch, Pulte Homes. They have something coming up in Hunters Creek. A lot of times what I'll do is with our clients, I've got some coaching clients up there and we have some new construction training clients up there. I'll push this to them and tell them, hey, here's another new construction spot if you guys didn't know about it. So we actually keep our clients in the loop as well. And Nate, what else am I missing here? Because I'll talk about the whole builder boost thing in a minute. I want to talk
Yeah,
more
well,
about the offline.
yeah, the relationship piece is the huge one. Like as you have relationships, when you find developments that are close to sellout, one of the cheat codes there is making sure that you have good relationships with those on-site people that are on site at developments that are about to sell out. And the reason for that is that those agents, usually on-site agents, are career on-site agents. They don't leave an on-site position and then go sell general, right? They leave on site and go somewhere else on site. And they start sending out those emails to everyone that's in their database from the other project they were on site at.
It just
So that's
happened to
how
me.
you get exactly, you get the coming soon stuff before anybody else gets it, because the first people they're going to hit are the people that are already in their email list, usually before they're even showing up at the sales center.
Yep. Also, your local association, they have advertising. A lot of times, this is usually like the luxury buildings and the high-end, usually high-end homes and $1 million homes, $1 million condos. But they'll take out advertising space and in the local newsletter for your association and send those. We just talked about developer presentations. We talked about checking with your brokerage, magazines
Chamber of
and
Commerce,
brochures.
commission of city commissions,
City commission,
Biz
yes.
Now events, like all of the, if you're trying to get ahead, one of the questions that and this sort of leads to the next step after relationships is in some of these single family markets, agents want to know, well, how do I get listings from a developer? How do I get to talk to a developer? Biz Now events, BISNOW.com. Go to your Chamber of Commerce meetings, go to the commission meetings, because those are the places where the developers are. And the point of the reason the commission meetings meet is to talk about developments in the community, what's happening. So that's how you can find out who to talk to, where to talk to, how many houses is getting built, all that great stuff, and build those relationships so you know what's coming.
Something else to consider anywhere they're building new schools. Development usually comes in. I've seen it in Florida specifically. They'll build a development and then they'll build a new school for the development, but it also works at the inverse. And it's not hard to find the big box developments because you can go to their websites. Like that's another thing. Go to the big box developers, go to their websites and get on all their mailing lists, give them the area so that you start getting those mailing list invites. Nate had a really good one where develop or on-site agents are typically career on-site agents, so they'll hop around. And when you have a good relationship with them, it doesn't matter who they work for. When you have conversations and you're dropping in, they'll tell you, "Oh yeah, this person's bringing something over here. It's not coming yet, but that's going to be our competition." Oh, really? Okay, great. So that's again where the relationship piece of that comes in. When you see land getting cleared, pay attention to that. Agents will see land getting cleared, like, oh, they're going to clear some land there. And then by the time they start looking into it, it's already built or sold out. So I think we hit most of what didn't we hit? We did the see if we got any other nuggets. We did the community or the Chamber of Commerce and the commission meetings. What's another benefit of commission meetings?
Commission meetings are a good place for you to be able to know what developers look like, which is a very underrated skill. A lot of agents, most of the people who watch this know what Beyonce looks like. And Beyonce ain't never made you no money. But you do not know what the CEO of DR Horton looks like, or even the regional manager, the regional vice president, the person who's over Lennar in the community that you live in. That's a problem. If you're selling condos here in South Florida, you should know who, Gil Desert, George Perez, Jeff Sofer. You should know these people because they're building the buildings that you're trying to sell to make, these $100,000 commissions. Going to commission meetings is where you get to see these guys in action. You get to see them talk, and seeing them talk means you get to know what they look like. And knowing what they look like means when you're at happy hours, you can introduce yourself. If you don't do it at the commission meeting, you can see them. And that goes a long way with building rapport, with getting inside tracks, with other people seeing you greet these people, knowing, oh, wow, Damon knows that guy. That's a big deal. So really, really dialing in on stuff like commission meetings and industry events is a big piece of you building that social capital, not just through relationships, but through people seeing that you know this stuff.
So one of the other things to consider, there are places online you can go. Of course, you can Google. That's a little wonky because when you Google, you usually have Zillow or something come up. You can go to Zillow, you can go to Realtor.com. They have new construction sections, but it's not as extensive as it could be. It doesn't have everything. So using a combination of all of these resources, there's Builder Boost if you're in Florida or um, actually, I don't think this is showing up. There's Builder Boost if you're in Florida or Texas. There's New Estate Only. They're blowing up. They're in Florida, Texas, New York. They have a couple other states that are surrounding. There's Builder Update. Like I mentioned, Zillow, Realtor.com, just filter by the new construction. Highrises.com is a good one. That is high rises. You have to filter by new construction there. And I am forgetting one. Builders Update is another one. We've actually, and I've been testing this. I created a prompt that pulls this in, and a GPT. Still playing around with it. It seems pretty promising. I'll share that with insiders at some point, because you have to be able to go to the right sources. But these are the general ways that you can find new construction. It's been like right under your nose. And the key in all of this is once you find it, make sure that you document it. Whatever your method of documentation is. I'll let Nate tell you about his iPad and kiosk. I'm old school. I write everything down. I guess I'm kind of new old school because I have a remarkable that I write things in, but I've got journals that I put things on, etc., that I write down notes for, and I might transfer it electronically because that is a little easier, depending on what works for you. But Nate, tell them about your the trapper keeper that we had someone talked about, and then also the how you used to present at kiosk.
Yeah, yeah. So obviously the Trapper Keeper is old school, old school. For those of us who are tactile and we like printing out stuff, or if you're going to these developments and you're getting hard copies of brochures, putting together a basically a folder, and then having those separator dividers that'll allow you to be able to pull out this book, from your car, from your duffel bag or wherever, and thumb through it if you're looking for a particular project or you want to share some information with someone. Another way that I found to be very advantageous, especially here in South Florida, because most developers will send us Dropbox links with all of the information for their property. What I've done is put all of those Dropbox links in a Dropbox folder and then just had that Dropbox folder in my Dropbox app on my tablet. So when I was at kiosk, we had a sales center in one of the more popular malls here, and somebody asked me about a particular project. I could just whip out my, my tablet and then go to Dropbox, pull up that folder, and show them brochures, renderings, teaser videos, all that stuff in a very specific way. And you have those things ongoing, so it's there. I can show you buildings now if someone's looking at an older building or they want to compare this building that was completed 8 years ago to a building just got completed. We have floor plans and comparisons, so that stuff becomes timeless and incredibly valuable to you once you have it. So having it and then having a very specific way to keep it in order so you can get back to that information quickly is basically a really good way to help that information do double duty for you.
So here's a scenario why what Nate just said is beneficial. What we just talked about from the documenting, like building your own personal, no other agent has. This is your own database of almost off-market properties, or some of it will be on market, but it's almost like an exclusive off-market property. So, client says they need a 3-bedroom, 2-bath on at least a 40-foot lot with a 3-car garage. I'm just making numbers up. You go into the MLS, you show them home number one. This is nice, but it doesn't quite have that. So you go to another one, you have like 2 or 3, they're like, nah, so you go back and regroup. A week later, it can't be a week later because they have someone's bar mitzvah to go to or a quinceañera. Can't make it. got to do it in 3 weeks. So you get back together with them, still didn't find that right property. So you keep going back and forth. Versus doing this with new construction. You take them to a spot. They came in. They're like, I like this, but I don't really. I'm not too sure of this. If this is it, so cool. You're not sure. Majority agents. Okay, well, let's regroup again. How's next week? Nope, I got a quinceañera and a bar mitzvah. Okay, what about the next week? Nope, my daughter is getting married. Okay, what about the next? So you're pushing it off. Versus, this isn't a good fit. But because you know what's going on, you pull out your tablet, notebook, Trapper Keeper. It's noon. Well, there's another property that's a little further out, but has everything you want. It's got a 65-foot lot. It's got a bigger backyard, and it's got the lanai that you're looking for with the 3-car garage. Oh, let's go look at that. Boom. They ink because you know what's going on. It's impossible for you to know everything that's available in individually in the MLS. But with new construction, you have ranges. So you know what ranges, and if somebody wants something but it's not quite a good fit, or you, after you're doing your discovery with them, realize this one is kind of going to have what they want, but let me show them this one first. Now you're a rock star because you are the expert, and that's why it's super important, especially coming on 2026, to know how to find new construction, build those relationships, and be the most knowledgeable. Nate, you got anything to add to that?
No, you pretty much put a bow on right there.
Okay, cool. All right, so let's bring this back up here. We are going to wrap up this week's tune-up. Now, if you go to the iconicagent.com/tune-up, you will get all of the free downloads. All of the replays will be in one area for you. And we'll probably throw some extra bonuses in there. So we're going to have a cheat sheet based on this presentation. It'll be up there tomorrow. Based on this specific conversation, we're going to have a cheat sheet up there for you that you can download, print out, as well as all of the other downloadables we had. Last week was really good. The 3-story framework, the ideal client persona conversation we had, super powerful. So we're going to keep dropping those in there. So if you go to the iconicagent.com/tune-up, you can get the replays and some of the assets. Now, if you want the real game and you want step by step, go to the Insider. This is where you can ask us questions. We're going to give you the prompts, the lessons, the training, the how-to. We're giving you the what now. We're going to show you the how-to, the specificity behind it. And you also have options to, we have the replays for the AMAs, which are our free monthly coaching sessions, usually the last Tuesday of the month, depending on holidays. And you can hop on. It's live. We have a conversation. The community will answer your questions. We'll answer your questions. We'll drop some game, what's going on. And we have some training that is for insiders only. The next one coming up is building your content authority effortlessly in 30 minutes with your phone and ChatGPT. And we also have in-depth walkthroughs of what we talk about here in the tune-ups. We do in-depth Q&A walkthroughs there. So if you have questions and you're not really sure, the Insider's where to go. So scan this QR code or go to the iconicagent.com/insider. Heads up also, this is for the agents that, they might not really be able to invest in themselves right now. They're not ready, or they're kind of dipping their foot in. We do have advanced level. We have a 6-week accelerator coming up, and we also have 4-day in-person events that are intense. So join the Insider. We can give you more information about that. And we will check you guys out next week. Same time, different topic. Peace.